It's been over an hour since this episode of Monday Night Raw went off the air. And I literally had to sit back and think exactly how I really do think about what happened on the show, especially the big bombshell of the night for sure of what happened at the end, which is why this live review for Monday Night Raw is going to be a little bit different. What happened at the beginning of the show and throughout the show, the main storyline here, Becky Lynch being invited back to Monday Night Raw, I will save that for last. Any segment involving Becky Lynch will be saved for last for this Raw review, because I have very mixed feelings for sure about what happened. Some ways I'm like, okay, this works in some ways, but then there's that other part of me, I'm just like, what? It concerns me also. My thing is we kind of saw this coming. Like the addition of Charlotte being added to this match with Ronda Rousey, we saw it coming. We had the suspicion it was going to happen some way. I had my ideas. I'm sure all of you had some ideas of like how this could happen, but was it the right way for it to happen? Did this do right? We'll discuss the pros and the cons of this course later on. But first, guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of Monday Night Raw from the February 11th, 2019 edition of Raw. Apparently, we are, I think, 55 days, I believe it is, from WrestleMania. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Vince McMahon made it clear tonight because 60 days is 5 days after WrestleMania, apparently. So we'll have to, see what's up with that later on. But we're going to talk about this episode of Raw. And let me tell you something, guys. 2 pay-per-views in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is completely unnecessary. Especially when Triple H said something tonight that gave me that vibe of like, oh, well, then why is that pay-per-view happening in general? I can understand Elimination Chamber. It gives a lot of people one more opportunity to get into some big match at WrestleMania. I get that. I'm cool with that. But 2, and it's really just hurting your booking. Because this show, honest to God, to me, did not feel like a go-home show at all. It did not. Like, nothing on this show got me any hype at all for Elimination Chamber. The only thing that had anything to do for me for Elimination Chamber was that women's triple threat match, which that was weird as well. We will talk about that, of course. But other than that, nothing. I can't say nothing really got me that excited for Chamber this Sunday. And looking at the card, I'm not as hyped for it as I was for I'm not as hyped for Chamber as I was for Rumble. Let's put it that way. But of course, I will do my predictions for Chamber. I'd say maybe Wednesday or Thursday, probably. I will do my predictions for Elimination Chamber. Still top 10 special this week. I'm still not sure which topic I'm going to go with. But of course, we'll get into that towards the end of the video. And just my weekly reminder of my plans for later on this month, as this channel will be a little bit of a whoopee schedule for like a week or so. But, it's completely understandable. So let's check the live chat first and see what we got here. We got Mark. What's going on, Mark? Man, this is bullcrap. Maybe they should take the Boss and Hug connection out of the Elimination Chamber, because will Sasha be able to compete? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, like if Sasha's not going to be cleared to compete, I get me 1 week getting away with having Sasha being taken out, but like 2 weeks and then even the Chamber match, it's not going to look good for Sasha after a while if they keep having her, be back me out like they are. Because you keep this in mind too, because I think, I forgot who said, like someone said, the way you can, I mean, I'm not saying WWE has to, risk their lives, if they really are severely injured and can't do much, that's one thing. But, some people times, showing you can still fight through something, Becky Lynch with a busted up face could make you look like an even bigger badass or whatnot. People can get behind you more. Like having Sasha doing that too many times is slowly going to have people say Sasha looks weak, even though with how bad they booked Sasha and Bayley over the past year, they're already both looking weak. Although I gotta give credit that Bailey in the ring lately has really been catching my eye. I gotta be honest. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in general if that's going to be the case with the injuries. And nobody wants to see Charlotte versus Ronda again, but Vince. It's true, but of course we'll talk about that at the end. How is Becky going to get added back when she is suspended? We'll talk about that, of course. It's about time they gave the Revival the titles for sure, and he does not get that moment between Seth and Dean. Me neither. That left me uber confused for sure, Mark. I do not know like what's gonna happen there, and it still's got me rolling in my head. Okay, what is really going on with the WWE and Dean Ambrose right now? Because I'm just this Raw has left me so confused. Other than a couple small things I enjoyed, and no, not everything was garbage on the show. There was only one. Well, again, the ending, I'm a mixed bag on that. There's one thing that, I mean, everything else just was what it was, I felt. Even though, I mean, the thing that I guess, hindered like a lot of stuff is the fact that it didn't feel like a go-home episode. But the thing that really drove me crazy, though, was that 6-man tag match. That, oh my gosh, I felt that was never going to end. Never! But we'll get into that, of course, in a little bit. So again, I will talk about the show, but I'll talk about everything else first, and then leave everything involving Becky Lynch for last, because that was the main thing in the show, and that's a lot to talk about. I want to break down some things, that happened. That's happened with this storyline, and why I feel I shouldn't be too concerned yet, but at the same time, I am concerned. But we'll get into that momentarily. And feel free, as always, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions in the live chat as well. And let's get rolling here. So again, we're going to skip over that opening segment. We have Sasha Banks and Bayley coming out for a match. They have their little handicap promo of them them talking about the ups and downs of their relationship over the past year and pledge to win the tag titles. And then we have, of course, Nia Jax and Tamia get a promo of how it's simple physics and they're better than the others and the other 5 teams together. And when they're done, they're gonna rename Elimination Chamber the Samoan Slaughterhouse. No thanks, that's not gonna happen. And we also had a couple other promos throughout the night from SmackDown superstars on the Titantron. Well, only ones that did was a team of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Which see Mandy Rose on an episode of Raw, can't complain at all. Always looking gorgeous as ever. And Sonya's not too bad looking also. I'll give her credit. And I also put over Sonya for the fact that I'm 2 days older than her exactly. Although I don't know what time she was born on her birthday, but I know I'm 2 days older than her. But anyways, and we also got the Iconics as well. Iconic! Got to throw it out there as well. Getting a little bit of a handicap promo. Nothing but from Naomi and Carmella, though, as far as I can remember, that is. But we had this match. It was the Boston Hug Connection, Sasha and Bayley, taking on Nia Jax and Tamina versus Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan of the Riot Squad. At first, I'm like, oh, just like we got on SmackDown, it's just a random triple threat with all 3 of those tag teams to gain some momentum going into the chamber match. But the stipulation was the loser of this match was going to be one of the 2 teams to be the first ones that enter the match. And apparently, they're doing something like this also tomorrow on SmackDown. But here's my thing: we already had a triple threat match with the 3 tag teams on SmackDown. In my opinion, whoever won that match, which was Mandy and Sonya, they shouldn't have to compete for that. They shouldn't have to compete in this triple threat again to, be considered who will be one of the first 2 teams to start the chamber match. Like, to me, like, they won already. Like, why are we having the match again with a stipulation? Like, it was just a waste of time and filler. So in my opinion, again, tomorrow it should just be Naomi and Carmella versus the Iconics. Like, don't put Mandy and Sonya in the match. It makes sense, but WWE doesn't think that creatively. They don't really try that often. But so this got me boggled because this is a triple threat match. There's 2 losers in this match. Like, yes, one gets pinned, but one team wins. The other 2 aren't winners. They're both losers. They both lose. During the match, I mean, all I can really remember what happened during this match was was again that like they did some dumb little thing outside with the Riot Squad beating down on Sasha Banks to have an excuse to take her out of the match, which, as I said before in the introductions, you can only do that so many times before you start making Sasha Banks look weak on TV. If she's not going to be able to compete, then don't put her in the chamber match. But Bayley, though, I felt, Bayley's spots, I enjoyed for sure. But then my thing was also, why don't anybody want to tag into this match if they get the pin, if they get their pin, they lose. So, other than the Bayley spots, this match was what it was. Again, my problem with it was the fact that, the team who got pinned was the one who has to start the match first, which is Sasha Banks and Bayley. And the Riot Squad, are lost also, but they get to start the match inside one of the pods. Okay, that again makes no sense. Like these rules just made no sense. So yeah, they won after Nia Jax and Tamina, were the only ones standing. Tamina pretty much went to make a choice of who she wanted to pin to put in there. So then she picks up she gets Liv Morgan out of the way though, and Nia just comes in and hits a Samoan drop on Bayley and to get the win and the center again. It was just so weird. It's a triple threat match. There's two losers. It made no sense to me, honestly. Then, all right, we had Elias getting ready to play, a song. He got interrupted twice. First, it was a segment with Becky and Finn that, again, I will save for later. The second one was a video package for Seth Rollins, who was supposed to be appearing tonight on Raw. And then one more time, he's about to sing again, and then the Lucha House Party comes out. And I'm sitting there thinking, at this point, with WWE, taking guys like Elias or Rusev, people who were just super over with the crowd, and they booked them in ways where they turned them heel and they tried to sabotage us with them. I'm just like, okay, because lastly, I'm saying, this guy is incredibly over. If he wasn't over, why would people be responding to him saying, walk with Elias? The whole thing of who wants to walk with Elias, everything, people are behind this guy. And when they did this, I'm like, how do I not know that WWE is not trying to sabotage Elias by just having him keep constantly getting interrupted? It looked stupid. It looked choppy. The Lucha House Party comes out, and this wasn't amazing, but this was better. One of those segments I was better than I expected. But they come on, and Elias, he's the biggest musical act on the planet, and he's been interrupted every single time he comes out here. And what's worse, his album wasn't nominated at the Grammys, which should have been, because he's awesome. He wrote a song for himself, and he wants to know why they're out here. Kalisto is unlike him. They love entertaining the WWE universe and decide they want to sing with Elias. Obviously, Elias, wanted to play for the WWE universe before, but apparently they weren't behind him enough. He was pretty much saying from his own mouth that they weren't behind him enough, which again just absolutely made no sense because they are. And to me, that's makes me mad because it's that's the WWE sabotaging the crowd who are reacting to someone that they don't want them to get over as much. So anyway, Lucha House Party, they decided they wanted to walk with Elias tonight. The Drifter takes his seat to sing his song and launched into his usual thing. Well, instead, just a little modified, saying silence your cell phones and shut your mouths, blah blah blah. He's talking about how he used to write for us, but he's got nothing left to give, and Grand Rapids is garbage. And he asks Lucha House Party what they think, and they give it a thumbs down. And Elias gets on number thing that they think he can do better. And Lindsay Dorado responds by dancing. Grant League was singing, and Kalisto says he thinks he can play the guitar better. So Elias gives him the guitar and tells him to show the world. And Kalisto plays some simple little tune, and surprisingly, he can play. I'm like, oh, okay, Kalisto can actually play guitar. So that kind of grab my attention for a little. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's kind of the faces did get their combos, but still, it's just what is the point of this again? It still just to me meant nothing, because then Elias was just you're pretty good. You want to sing a duet? Kalisto agrees. Elias grabs his other guitar and then hits Kalisto with it, and then he runs off. I don't know. Again, like we're starting off a feud now with the Lucha House Party and Elias now. I just do not know. Again, it's just the same, like, felt, decent, but at the same time, it just felt like, again, they're just trying to sabotage Elias. The fact that, we love the guy, but then they're trying to make us hate him again. It's just not working. And I don't know. I don't think of that. Oh, gosh. But then we got this. So after Elias runs away, we got Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush coming out. And it was announced this Sunday that apparently we have 2 matches announced for Sunday, I believe I saw. First, what we got announced is Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. Why? I don't know, but I don't care. The second match for the IC title. I thought it was going to be just Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. But it's actually going to be Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush in a handicap match taking on Finn Balor. What? Like, why? Like, Finn Balor beat Lio Rush. Why is this all of a sudden a 2-on-1 handicap match? I mean, this makes no sense to me. Like, if Lio Rush would beat Finn Balor, here's what would make more sense. Finn Balor would have gotten, an opportunity some other way, not by beating Lio Rush. I'll give credit. That match he had with Lio Rush last week was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't, phenomenal, but I thought it was a good match, showing that, these two can work very well together and show that Lio was great in the ring. But he beat Lio. Like, let's say, if, Finn fought Lio and then Bobby, caused a distraction for Lio to win. Okay, then maybe, he wanted to use an advantage and whatnot. Then I can see. But just adding Lio into Rush just because it just, I don't get it. It sounds very stupid to me. I'm not behind it at all. So Finn Balor is to have a match with Drew McIntyre. And the match was garbage. I'm sorry. Is it just me? Or ever since the Rumble, when he got eliminated, I feel like Drew McIntyre's kind of lost some momentum. Like, he got eliminated by Dolph Ziggler and Braun Strowman. And once again, Dolph appears at the Rumble, is the final 3, and then we don't see him again. Like, I didn't get why that. I mean, I get storyline wise, Dolph getting his compass, but again, what's it going to lead to? To me, it's just sent him to this downward spiral. I mean, if he was hyping up something for a match with him and Cena, if it would still would happen, because I don't know, because Cena had to go away and film a movie. Which again, if Cena does not have a match at WrestleMania with Drew McIntyre, I'm gonna be pissed off that they even brought him back to begin with. Like, what was the point? What was the point of bringing Cena back last month, anyways, if he was not gonna have that match at Mania? But this match it made it look like that Drew McIntyre was nothing. I hated it. I absolutely hated this match. And of course, Finn Balor's about to win, and then Lashley gets in and pushes him on the top rope, and Finn wins by disqualification. Lashley and McIntyre start brawling with Balor. I'm like, oh gosh, what's gonna happen? Is Braun come out? But no, instead, out comes Kurt Angle. He goes in, but it's a 3-on-2 assault, and then Braun Strowman comes out, and I'm like, oh god, no. Don't. And I'm like, this is going to lead to a 6-man tag match in the main event. It was not the main event, but it was the next match. But keep in mind, that was one commercial right there. This match goes on. This match happens. And we get a second commercial. The match is still going on. And then Bobby Lashley pins Finn Balor with a Yokozuna cutter. But when he goes to pin Balor, Balor puts his foot on the ropes. And the referee missed it. I'm just like, well, that was pointless. What was the point of that? He's just trying to protect both Lashley and Balor? I don't know. But then another referee, I believe it was Chad Patton, comes out and talks to it was John Cone. John Cone, the father of Nicholas, this freaking kid who freaking came into Braun Strowman's match last year as Braun Strowman's tag partner at Mania, which is still so stupid in my opinion. Pat comes out and explains to Cone what happened, And then Cone calls over the ring announcer and announces that the match will restart. And we go to a third commercial break. So this match was taking on like 30 or 40 minutes, and to me, it did absolutely nothing for anyone in this match. It just led to, for a while, Kurt Angle, who barely did anything in the match. And I'm sorry again, I love Kurt, but he is just looking awful in the ring. I love that, but I don't even want him to have a WrestleMania match at this point. He just doesn't look that great at all. I'm sorry, he doesn't. But then we have the match resume after commercial, and then apparently Strowman was out because of a Claymore kick that McIntyre hit on him, and then Balor was 3-on-1 for a while until Strowman was miraculously able to come out of the crowd and whatnot and be back in this match and just wreak havoc, whatnot, which I was like, oh my goodness, like we haven't seen this how many times, And then Finn Balor wins by pinning Lashley with the coup de grace. So what did this do for anyone? Seriously, Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin, I don't care. Yes, the feud was happening back in December. I kind of understood it because of all that happened, even though it was stupid still of Baron Corbin to cost Braun Strowman the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel, because once again, why would everyone get the title back to Brock Lesnar after all the hell we've been through? So, okay, I get that. If they wanted to have another match too, they could have done it on Raw. I would have been okay with that. But to drag it on to another pay-per-view 2 months later, it makes no freaking sense. Drew McIntyre doesn't have a match for Elimination Chamber unless they give it to him and Kurt Angle, which, again, I have no interest in seeing at all. Like that, now McIntyre's coming back down the totem pole again for me. And then why have, Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor pin each other when they have a freaking match tonight? That doesn't make any sense. A 2-on-1 handicap match. This match dragged on for so long, and I just did not care. It's like, why is this happening? Why do we have to have even a false finish for no apparent reason that the referee couldn't even see the foot on the ropes? That was clear as day. Oh my gosh, I hated this. This was stupid. It was trash. It was a train wreck. Keep in mind, again, we went from Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre to a crappy match they had, to like a boring, long-ass 6-man tag match. This took like 40 torturous minutes to get through. Dear God, was it bad. Oh, goodness. But then let's check the live chat again. We got to do a little bit more, some better stuff to get to the live chat. Let's see here. Let me see here. We got Trump My Love saying Vince is a Republican just like my hero, Donald Trump. We all know him and Trump are probably good friends. What's up, Jay? This show felt super lifeless. At times, yeah. Basically because, again, it was not a good go-home show. Still a couple of things in that last hour I can say I actually kind of enjoyed, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I don't see how Sasha and Bayley are going to win. I don't think anyone that started off in the chamber has ever won it, especially if Sasha's not fully healthy and they had to keep running her out of matches again. After a while, it's going to make her look too weak. It's not going to make her look good. So who knows? Mark gives this show a D- for what Vince did, which I don't blame you. Imagine being verbally owned by the Lucha House Party. I would request my release immediately. Oh, for sure. Lucha House Party have been booked horribly ever since coming over to Raw. And honestly, it's affecting how I look at them on 205 Live also, because of the bad booking they've had on Raw also. It's horrible. But at least it wasn't Jeff Jarrett again for sure. I still don't get why they brought him back. Me neither. They added another match to the Chamber, Strowman and Corbin, which again makes no sense. And also apparently Mustafa Ali is injured, so he won't be in a chamber match. I've heard the rumors. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but we'll find out tomorrow. Maybe it'll be like Rey Mysterio or Bray Wyatt, because I'm actually looking forward to that match. Like, that's one of the very few matches I'm looking forward to at Chamber. I'm not really that excited for Chamber at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll watch the Cruiserweight title match. I'm still not a fan of, the women's tag titles being defended, being, crowned inside the Elimination Chamber, because you're throwing a bunch of people who aren't that experienced at all or booked too well in a big, caliber match like that. So I may do a lot of reactions to it. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to do live react again. Depending on what I do, I may do live reactions for the men's chamber match though. But again, this pay-per-view feels pointless. And to think they're probably going to throw together another 3-4 hour show. Oh my gosh. Good luck, guys. Good luck for sure trying to get through this show if it's going to be as long as they're teasing it. Yeah, but for sure. But thank you guys for the stuff in the live chat. Let's continue on here. We then have a segment with Kevin Owens and a handicap promo, updating on what he's up to, and that he's spending time with his family and enjoying it. But he's been paying close attention to Raw and SmackDown, which is hard to watch other people do what he does best. But the good news is he doesn't know where he's coming back, but he knows he's only got about 1 more month before he comes back. And he goes on to, because he's bowling with his family, and he goes on to, to go up for a turn. He throws a gutter ball, which gotta learn, how to bowl properly. Hey, I bowled in high school. I still got the tools. I can teach you how to bowl. But it's definitely true. The rumors have that he has lost some weight, but maybe he'll be back for Mania. I don't know. Maybe they'll wait till Raw after Mania for him and Sammy to both come back. Again, I still think, though, with this year's shakeup, they should keep Owens on Raw and put Sammy on SmackDown. Again, I love those guys together, but it's time to split them up for a while and give them something fresh to do, on their own. So, that's why I kind of hope what happens when they come back. Because, I feel, if anything, Sammy should be more ready than Kevin. But it looks like, they're both going to probably be right around the same time. So, again, we'll see what happens. If Owens does come back at Fastlane or something like that, or if he's involved with something for Mania, or if not, then we're definitely going to get them the Raw after Mania. Or SmackDown after Mania, who the heck knows. So, we'll see what happens. If it's a Raw after Mania, I'll be going. By the way, I just gotta, I don't want to show off the barcode or anything. Make sure it's This is my Raw after Mania ticket that my friend, of course, ordered for us. It's definitely a keepsake because it changes, positions, people and whatnot. Pretty awesome. Don't you guys think? I had to show that off really quick. But I got that, the access ticket now. Everything. We got pretty much everything paid for, except the only thing we haven't got yet is our Hall of Fame tickets. So yeah, so I'm going to Access. I'm going to Raw after Mania. I'm going to Mania. Again, I wish I would have been able to go to NXT, but again, we already booked our hotel and mega bus, so it's going to be that we're leaving. Okay, we're leaving that Friday night before the Friday night, after Takeover. We're going to leave and ride the mega bus overnight to get to New York. But anyway, so I had to show it real quick here. But we then have this match then with Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott. During that, we had another segment with Becky Lynch. I'll leave for afterwards. But match was all right. I don't know. Again, it was just I wasn't a fan of having Ruby Nikki Cross treated like an extra just to put over Ruby Riott before her match against Ronda, which they did nothing on this show to even hype up that match, or then the fact that last week they had Ruby avoid facing Ronda, and then they have a match now out of the blue. Okay, how did Ruby earn this opportunity? Both of her girls lost, so I don't know. There's no story to that match. Still could be a good match, but there's still no story at all to Ruby and Ronda. Although watch this match, I just thought of whenever Ruby first came to NXT and how her and Nikki Cross had a feud down there, and I'm just like, man, I remember a year or so ago, I wanted to see 2 years ago, I wanted to see have something like a hardcore match, or like an Extreme Rules match. Still could happen someday, and it may be good, who knows? But it also kind of made me feel, okay, Nikki Cross is not going heel. I feel like they only had her go heel briefly, last Monday, just to team up with Alicia Fox. That way they had an excuse to beat down Sasha, so Sasha couldn't get in the match. Because after the match, Alicia was blaming it on Nikki Cross. So yeah, Nikki's still a babyface to me, in my opinion. And also, apparently, that's right. Was it last week? It was Dana Brooke was going to have a match with Natalya this week. That didn't happen. What else is new? They say things are going to happen, and it doesn't happen. Again, what else is new? Because WWE, you lie. You lie! And do things however you want to do. Anyways, though, we then have Seth Rollins come out saying about how crazy his year has been, how glad he is to share it with all of us. As he rode that feeling all the way to winning the Rumble, punched his ticket to WrestleMania. He was on top of the world, and then the bottom dropped in the form of Brock Lesnar's 6 F5s. But he's got bad news And he's also got some good news. First, the bad news is he took 6 F5s, and it hurts. Whether that's acute injury or just build up wear and tear, he doesn't know, but the pain was like nothing he'd ever felt. But the good news is he took 6 F5s and he's still here. He took 6 F5s and he's standing, and he can stand, then he can fight. And if he can fight, he can stop. If he can stop, he can beat Brock Lesnar. He had to look family in the eyes and tell them he doesn't care. If WrestleMania is the last match of his career, the last time he ever steps into the ring before getting erupted by, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I've got a surprise for you, Mr. Rollins. The reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion is not here tonight. As always, but he didn't say that because that's not like, of course he's not here. He's never here. Then Rollins is like, yeah, what else is new? Heyman says, but I'm here and I'm going to educate you. See, you think all men are created equal, but do you honestly think Rollins' DNA matches Lesnar's? Sure, Seth is one of the best he's ever seen, but Brock is a beast, a predator, and a career killer. So if Seth is willing to take this on as the last match of his career, he can call it a suicide mission. And if he walks into WrestleMania to take the title away, he will be the architect of his own demise. And that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Then Rollins says that he's right. But what he doesn't seem to understand is that he just doesn't care. Brock's held this industry hostage for 2 years, and he doesn't care. He'll be the martyr and sacrifice his body, his heart. He'll sell his soul to the devil and burn in hell if it means winning the Universal Championship. And that isn't a prediction. That's a spoiler, which I'm like, good. It's, a nice little, first segment for Rollins since his feud with Lesnar has begun, of course. Again, it kind of made me think of like a Punk and Heyman segment for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was pretty good. But then this happened, and I was super confused by this. Dean Ambrose comes out. He walks down to the ring, and again, we're all wondering what the heck is going on with him now since, it was announced even through WWE.com that Ambrose is leaving in April. He did not renew his contract, apparently, whatnot he's been saying. He comes to the ring, takes the microphone from Seth and says he's got one thing to say to him. Slay the beast. And he just leaves and sits down at the timekeeper's area as Rollins leaves. Now, my thing was okay, if Ambrose is leaving, did they do that just for him and Rollins to, make peace before he leaves? Or, because then he faces EC3 in a rematch from last week, and he beats EC3. Like he's nothing also. So okay, is he the babyface? Is he still a heel? Like, what's going on here? Like, it still has me wondering. Again, I'm still sticking to believing that he really is leaving. But I still have that little itch inside me wondering, is this a work? I just don't know. Something just doesn't seem right. Like, why would WWE go out of their way to announce on their own website that he's leaving, and the night after a Raw where he lost to Seth Rollins clearly? Like, it looks like, and again, too, we're also told rumors that he was supposed to be part of some big storyline after Rumble. What is the story? Again, I just, something seems very fishy with this. Like, I'm still curious if this is a work or not. Of course, we'll find out until WrestleMania, but I don't know. Like, if this was for Ambrose and Rollins, kind of make peace since Ambrose is leaving, and my thing is also, and I was saying this over the weekend. So when I went to meet Roman Reigns on Friday, when Rollins went to Telemania, and I say when, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. I think it would be well fitting for Roman to come out and at least celebrate with Rollins. It gives Roman a WrestleMania moment to remember. He'll get a nice pop for sure. And, it's kind of after everything Rollins has been through, losing his friend, having to leave because of leukemia battle, and his broken heart of having Ambrose turn on him too. And even if it is the last time we see, if it's Ambrose's last night, they can at least do the Shield fist bump one more time before Ambrose leaves. Or that could be when Ambrose attacks Rollins and maybe Reigns also, and it's pretty much revealed that it was a work all along or whatnot. Like, it could be a good way to kind of reignite the fire in the heel turn from Ambrose, because right now I just don't know what the heck's going on. I just don't get it. He has a feud with Nia Jax. Then he's losing the EC3 like he's nothing, but then he's being EC3 like EC3 is nothing also, which EC3, again, was a babyface in NXT, and I don't feel him as the vibe as a babyface now. Like, I'm confused. I am very confused on what's going on with Dean Ambrose. I can't say he's a face. I don't even think he's a heel. I don't know what the heck he is. And I don't know if him leaving is true or not, but who knows? I have no idea. We have another backstage segment I'll have to get to later. And then, okay, we then get to this championship match. The tag team championship match for the 50,000th time. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus The Revival. I feel like a broken record since they've had how many tag team matches with these two teams? Like, this division probably is that dead. This is the best match I can come up with. But may I give credit where credit is due? This was a good match. Although the thing is, though, once again, the Revival still felt they're being booked like baby faces because they were coming so close to winning so many times, but there was a lot of great near falls, a lot of great counters. Like, I was actually kind of seeing the Revival from NXT a little bit in this match. Of course, a couple of my favorite spots in this match, of course, was the spot where I thought first Roode and Gable were going to retain, and I think they hit like some type of like a suplex or something like that, like a combo suplex, and I think it was like I think Gable went for like a German suplex, and then Bobby Roode jumped off the ropes and hit, I think it was Wilder with a neck break. It was like a very sick combo, but then Dawson broke it up, and then that shatter machine at the end was sick as well. It was like they threw they whipped Chad into the corner, and then they just like did like a jackknife off of the top rope or something like that, and hit a shatter machine on Gable for them to finally, and I mean finally, have the Revival win the Raw Tag Team Champions. And like, finally, after all the hell you put these guys through, you're finally putting the titles on them. But of course, where are they going to go from here? Like, where else can they go? I don't know, but about time they won. That's all I gotta say. About time they win the tag titles. But of course, they're still part of a dead division, which is why my one friend suggested, hey, if the Usos are the ones to take the tag titles off of Shane and Miz, have this a unification match at WrestleMania. The Usos and the Revival unifying the men's tag titles. I'm like, go for it. Who are the Revival going to face at WrestleMania? Nobody. The Usos? Maybe Sanity? I don't know, but somebody. But, so just, if they're going to have just one set of women's tag titles, which thank goodness, because there's no depth for, two sets of women's tag titles for sure. Unify the men's. Unify the men's. You can unify the women's titles if you want. You can unify the world titles. I don't care. Again, there's too many championships right now. And with too many championships, it's leading to these 4-hour shows and taken away from so many great, possibilities for non-title feuds. It is. Like, it's hurting the non-title feuds for sure. And maybe WWE will finally go back to just 3-hour pay-per-views or something like that. Just something. I can't stand these 4 or 5-hour shows. Especially if Sundays is 4 hours, it's going to be a killer because there's not much depth in most of his matches. But, oh man. But backstage, we have them Revival interview telling us for 5 years that they're the best tag team on the planet, and ain't nobody around the damn globe better. And they embrace and they say top guys out and claim the titles like they used to do. We also get an advertisement in 2 weeks. It's going to be the Nature Boys' 70th birthday on the Raw in Atlanta in 2 weeks. So what date is that actually in 2 weeks? Will I be in town for that? I may not be. Yeah, it's the 25th. I'm not going to be in town for that, so I'll have to give my late review for that, unless if I do a live review down down south. Who knows? So that's everything besides, the stuff with Becky. So before I get to the stuff with Becky, let's go to the live chat again and just check in and see what's all happening here. So let's see here. We were hyped for WrestleMania, and now it's going to suck because of the Raw Women's title match change. Which again, guys, I still don't think it's going to be Ronda and Charlotte. I really don't think it's going to be just Ronda and Charlotte. I think Becky is going to get in there some way. But the way they did it, of course, I have mixed feelings about how they did it. And I'll, of course, share, how I felt if they were going to do it this way, they should have done something a little bit different. So let's get into what all happened with Becky tonight. Of course, it was announced that Becky Lynch was going to be invited back to Raw. Hence, once again, she was on Raw last week, Monday, and she appeared on SmackDown on Tuesday. So once again, why had the suspension in the first place when she's just going to keep appearing and whatnot? And only have it after just 1 week, which, again, it felt kind of pointless. Like, having, Kevin Owens say he quits and 1 week later he comes back and attacks Bobby Lashley again. That felt pointless as well. But anyway, so we have Triple H and Stephanie in the ring, saying that we're officially on the road to WrestleMania, and up next is the Elimination Chamber, where we will crown women's tag champions and Bryan will defend the championship inside the chamber. They run down the other matches as well before getting to a recap of Becky Lynch refusing medical attention, getting suspended, and hitting both of them last week. Stephanie says Becky did, though, see a doctor over the weekend and is about to tell us what they had to say. So out came Becky, soaking in the atmosphere as always, and the crowd's chanting for her and says it's nice to be here and it's nice to see Triple H and Stephanie McMahon looking well. And she promises to hit Stephanie harder next time. Triple H says the whole thing escalated quickly, but he wants to put it behind them. And he can admit that what he said last week crossed the line and he wants to apologize for all of it. Which, again, my biggest problem I had with this whole thing was last week when Triple H was being more so of a heel again, and he was accusing Becky Lynch of being afraid to be told she is cleared because she's afraid to fight Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Becky Lynch went out of her way at the Royal Rumble to get into the match and qualify, and she won clean, like even on one knee after Nia Jax hurt her knee. She won clean, and she was the one who immediately went right after Ronda Rousey. Anytime Becky and Ronda been face to face, Becky has that look on her face like, she's not afraid of Ronda at all whatsoever. She's not. She absolutely isn't. So why on earth would the WWE try to even go ahead and think that we actually are afraid, think that we actually believe that Becky Lynch could be afraid of Ronda Rousey? Now, again, Becky Lynch, if Becky Lynch was scared of, being told she wasn't going to be able to wrestle and all of her dreams are going to get flushed down the toilet, I can kind of find that a little more acceptable. But when Triple H last week was saying stuff like, you're just afraid to face Ronda, you're afraid to be clear of that happening. It's like, no! Like, Becky worked so hard to get here. Why would she want to back out? Like, that's the problem I had last week. The other problem I had, of course, too, is if they're trying to imply that, the authorities doing their own usual stick and, try to, prevent people we want to see from happening. I can't buy into that right now because isn't Stephanie, Triple H, Vince, and Shane all supposed to be all four working together to make the show better? They're supposed to be the heroes right now. So that's another thing that kind of hindered me also with the McMahons involved. Like tonight, I'm thinking the McMahons really did not need to get involved with this, which I'll explain more of what should have happened. But that was me kind of explaining, if the McMahons were involved, this at least feel more smoother. That's what should have happened. But I'll explain more towards the end. So anyway, so back to this opening segment. The truth is, Becky saw the doctors. Becky saw her doctors, and WWE's doctors talked to her doctors, and they agree with them. There's no tear, no structural damage to the knee, and they believe after a couple weeks of rehab, they will 100% medically clear her. So as of now, the suspension is lifted, and her match at Mania is on. And of course, Stephanie has to be taking the spot and go, oh, it's going to be one of the greatest matches of all time. Of course, we haven't said it, but of course, she has to say it's because. But it'll only take place if they do just one more little thing. Like, oh, tell me they're going to make that match with her and Charlotte where they think that, if Charlotte wins, she gets a spot because, oh, Becky was not supposed to be in that match, whatnot whatsoever. But instead, they're like, you're supposed to be a role model to girls and women all over the world, and actions do have consequences. Everything will be just fine as long as she says she's sorry. And then what I completely lost my train of thought here. Hold on. Becky asks apologize for what? She saw the doctors. That's what they wanted. Steph tells her not to be stubborn. Becky tells her to shut her face and says she doesn't trust either of them or her old man, and their whole family's been screwing people over for decades. She won't calm down. They're trying to take her opportunity away, and nobody's stealing her opportunity. She'll fight anyone to get where she wants to, even Vince, but apologize? Hell no. They're telling her what to do. Well, they can take their apology and shove it up their ass. Vince gets in Becky's, Stephanie gets in Becky's face, and they start arguing until Triple H breaks everyone up and tells them to calm down. He tells Becky this isn't the hill she wants to die on, and she needs to calm down and think clearly and put her pride behind her. Does she want to fight here, or does she want to fight at WrestleMania? To go on and fight for her dreams and have everything she's ever fought for, or does she want to throw it away? If telling her is a problem, then he's not telling her anything. He's giving her a choice. But she has to come out here by the end of the night and tell them what's going to happen. Is she going to fight Ronda at the shows, or will she choose to throw it all away? The choice is hers. So again, that still got me thinking, okay, but once again, if the story here is speculating that, again, we're supposed to trust McMahon's now. There's supposed to be, these big heroes who are going to make the show better, bring that change. It has not happened, just by the way. And I'm just like, okay, so that's why I'm having a hard time buying into this. Like, if they're pretty much, saying, like, wake up, get this check. I'm concerned for your safety and what. I'm not telling her, and, speaking some truth, then okay, I get that. But then, like, this idea that they might be able to try to sabotage her, I can't buy into that. But then let's continue on further. Let's find the next Becky promo. Which was the next one? We have Becky talking with her good friend Finn Balor backstage, saying he's not in her situation, but he knows a thing or two about being too proud for your own good, and he doesn't want her to let her pride get to her. He says it's better to wait and bid your time, and when the whole world is watching, he's going to take Bobby Lashley's title at Elimination Chamber. She asks if he thinks she should apologize, and he doesn't say one or the other, just that he's seen pride be the downfall of many a man, but he doesn't want it to be the downfall of the man. Thanksman tells him his abs are awesome as always, and he walks away. And that was, of course, the first time also when Elias was cut off. Let's see here. Where was the next one? The next one, I believe, was where was it? The next one, Becky was asked backstage, what she's thinking, but she declines to make any comment. And then during the Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott match, this one was weird. We're told backstage there's something going on. But no, it's Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. And Ronda's telling her to man up and apologize, even if she doesn't mean it, because if she doesn't, she's just admitting she's too much of a coward to fight her at WrestleMania. Which, again, was stupid because, we all know that's not true. And I don't know. Again, that one didn't make any sense. And then, where was it? There was one more before we got to the ending. We have Alexa Bliss then backstage encouraging Becky not to apologize, but Becky sees through her and says, you're just trying to get into my match at Mania. And she says she apologizes. The only thing she's selling out is WrestleMania. So then we get to the ending segment, the closing segment of the show. Becky comes out, so does Triple H and Stephanie. Steph says it's been a long night for all of them, for us as well, especially that tag match. If Becky's going to live her dream or not, she puts the match over and asks Lynch if she's going to throw away her moment in history. Triple H gets real close and asks her what she wants, and Becky says she still thinks the two of them won her nowhere near the match. Yes, she doesn't trust them, and yes, she got angry when she thought her opportunity was taken away. And yes, the people were chanting for it, so she had both of them, but yes, if all that's keeping her from her dreams is Tula awards, then she said she's sorry. She denies Triple H's handshake, though, and says now that that's out of the way, they have a deal, right? If anybody tries to steal her opportunity, they'll have the fight of their lives, and no one is taking her dream away. Triple H says he wouldn't have it any other way and congratulates her. Becky shakes both their hands. They go to leave, and Becky's like, that's it? And Triple H is like, yep, that's it. And then Becky pretty much calls out Ronda and says the two of them are going to be fighting in front of 70,000 people at MetLife Stadium. Ronda comes out, and I'm like, okay, is this going to just, tease the match or not? If this is going to be the main event, or are they going to, get into a brawl or something? Who knows? But then here was the killer. Out comes Vincent Kennedy McMahon to cheers again. I am sick of people cheering the guy, and they're going to complain about him on Twitter. If you can't stand the guy, don't cheer for him when he comes out, especially after this segment. So Vince comes out and says before they do anything silly, he wants to get something off his chest. That Steph is right. This could be one of the greatest main events of all time. But he thinks that Becky thinks she's bigger than WWE, and he doesn't like bad attitudes. And even Ron does as well. She's not the man. He's the man. And sometimes he has to make tough consequences. So here is one. Becky Lynch, you're suspended for 60 days. And we're like, what? And then he's like, they may be able to forgive you, but I'm not. I'm not going to. That runs till 5 days after WrestleMania, and you need someone to take her place. Someone that has charisma and charm and knows their lane, which is Charlotte. Vince tells Ronda that Charlotte's going to beat her and introduces her as the next Raw Women's Champion, and that's how we go off the air. And man, did Twitter just flood out. Everyone was pissed that Charlotte's being added to the match. Here's my take on this, though, and I'll state my take on this. I felt it was coming. And quite frankly, they're booking it the right way with, Charlotte being like the heel. And if she's like, here's the parts I get. If she's being like, the corporate favorite by Vince McMahon to win the match, then I can kind of get it. It's kind of realistic because that's who he probably would have rather had in the match than Becky Lynch. I get that. I absolutely get that. But here's the biggest problem I've had with this whole storyline, with the McMahons getting involved and what happened tonight. So here's what I felt should have happened. Yes, Becky has a bad knee. Maybe, Charlotte could have taken more advantage of it. They had a match, like Elimination Chamber, where obviously Charlotte would have probably won. And because Charlotte goes, oh, I was supposed to win that Rumble match. I came in second, but she wasn't even supposed to be in that match to begin with and whatnot. Blah, blah, blah. We all know. I could have understood that. And then to give some momentum back, Becky could have had a match against Nia Jax at Fastlane to get her comeuppance on Nia to give her some momentum going into WrestleMania. And as I said before, if it's a triple threat, make it elimination style. Take Punk's idea of WrestleMania 29. Make it an elimination match. Have someone pin Charlotte first, and then keep it between Becky and Ronda. That way, Becky and Ronda still have a good 15, 20-minute match or something like that, one-on-one, 10, 15-minute match one-on-one, and we still get what we want, and Becky wins the title. Okay, I could have taken that. Now, I could get also, they didn't want to have, Charlotte win by beating Becky to protect Becky from winning. I get that also. The problem I had with the way they did it is I'm worried that this did kill Becky's badass persona. That's the thing I'm concerned about. Because, you know, you have Becky. Here's the thing again, Becky Lynch, no doubt about it, is a babyface. Like, it's clear as crystal after tonight. Becky for sure is a babyface. But she doesn't need to be that, bubbly, I love you guys, babyface and whatnot. She doesn't have to. Like, again, Pete Dunne is the prime example of the type of babyface that Becky Lynch should be. Of course, with the more, even more badass than Pete Dunne. Like, he's not like a complete people pleaser. He's not out there praising the crowd all the time, but he's coming out as a hero, but not like, something big, oh, you guys are the greatest and whatnot, blah, blah. No. Becky Lynch had that persona. Now, you also, it's like Pete Dunne has all the guts in the world, he's not afraid of anything. Well, this kind of made Becky Lynch look a little like she does have some fears, honestly. I don't know. It made her look like, just a typical baby face again, in my opinion. It didn't make her look like a badass. It didn't make her look as savage. It just made it look like, I think they tried with having Becky saying, okay, fine, I forgive you, I'm sorry, but if this screws up, I'm coming after both of you, basically. I get they tried, but it worries me that they killed that persona with her. That's the biggest problem I have with this, and the McMahons getting involved. It could have been Charlotte, just being like, this dark cloud on Becky Lynch, trying to nitpick at every single thing she can do to steal Becky's opportunity from her. And, Becky comes back. Because let me tell you guys, I know she's suspended for 60 days. If Becky Lynch still had that badass persona, she is somehow going to get that match into that match at WrestleMania. Charlotte's in it, though, unfortunately. But again, as I said, the best way they can do this for people to be happy, because I know no one's happy Charlotte's in there. I'm not saying Charlotte doesn't deserve to be in there, but I definitely would have rather had just Ronda and Becky. But it's obvious that Charlotte's going to get inserted there at some point. And at least she's the heel, and they're not trying to push us to hate Becky Lynch. Although if they would have Charlotte win that match, I would be absolutely pissed off. I would be so angry that would set me off the air. But again, do something where, at Fastlane, Becky, may have to be like, Nia Jax or something like that. Like, make it unsanctioned, who knows, and give her the momentum going back into WrestleMania. She'll get in that trouble. I still think she'll get in there, but again, the thing that concerns me most is I hope this did not kill Becky's badass persona. That's the thing I think I'm worried about, and a lot of people are worried about for sure. We'll just have to wait and see where this goes. But guys, that's it. That is my review from Raw. Very choppy show. Didn't feel like a go-home show at all. I gave it a C-. The polls on Twitter are saying 8 votes. No one said A. 13% said B. 50% said C. And then 37% said D or lower. I give it a C- because I did enjoy the tag title match, the stuff with Seth Rollins. I'm mixed bagged about what happened with Becky. Of course, obviously, we were meant to, hate for Becky to get suspended. But at the same time, again, did they do it in a way that could have killed Becky's persona? But let's see what's in the live chat one more time before I head out. Let me see here. Let me see what's going to happen. Charlotte going to block. Gonna block me, Mark says. Check your direct message. I'll have to check that right now since you're live. And he says, this is what I sent her, which I gotta give credit though. Charlotte did look pretty good tonight when she came out. I wish she came out like, whoa, because I've always said women wearing tight black clothing do kind of turn me on, if you know what I mean. But again, that's me going a little out of the box. Mark sent a GIF saying, nobody wants to see this, you full-blown crazy. Oh, geez. Maybe she will block you. Who knows? But man, of course, we'll have to wait and see. But, if she blocks you, man, that sucks. But gotta give credit. She looked whoa tonight for sure. We got TikTok Pineapple. Do you think it's a setup for Fastlane? Becky versus Flair, Fastlane winner versus Ronda for the Raw Women's Championship. Again, I at this point, if it was going to be Becky and Becky and Charlotte for the spot at WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure what would happen at Chamber. But Charlotte's in for sure. I mean, they maybe could do it, but kind of continue to stack the odds more against Becky. But again, I feel, honestly, the appropriate way is for her to maybe beat, Nia. Because Becky's beaten Charlotte how many times? Have her beat Nia. I mean, even though I'm not a fan of having Nia on pay-per-view, give Becky a fresh match. Her and Nia haven't really faced each other as far as I know. And have Becky beat Nia to get that momentum going in and at Fastlane, and maybe from there, she'll get into. But I still say Becky's getting into that match somehow. She better. She's got to be. Mark says this is reminding me of Stone Cold and The Rock, which is possible. They may get like Bryan on the road to WrestleMania 30, maybe as well. Mark's checking out. He'll see me for my SmackDown review. Thank you for joining me, Mark. But yeah, let the way we see where it goes. Again, I'm not already like, oh, this is dead, whatnot. But again, I'm saying is this better not have killed Becky's badass persona. Like that's the biggest concern I have. But we'll see what happens, guys. Of course, again, this show didn't really give me that excited for Chamber. But again, continue to do some odds and ends this week. Again, I'm getting back to my Adam Project Let's Play probably tomorrow. Maybe tonight. Probably not tonight. Definitely tomorrow, though. SmackDown review tomorrow. 205 Live here later tomorrow night or not sometime Wednesday. NXT and NXT UK reviews on Wednesday. Probably doing Chamber predictions on Wednesday. Maybe also, if not, then Thursday. Special live from Thursday. And then probably Chamber review and live reactions on Sunday. Depends on what I do. If I do watch with friends or not. As of now, I'm just watching by myself. And then the following week, the normal spew. But then, as I mentioned before, remind again, from February 21st to 28th, I'm going on vacation to visit my sister. So I might not be able to get my reviews up right away, and they may not be live. So if they're not going to be live, I will record them and upload them whenever I can to get the highlights and whatnot. So, yeah, just that update there, guys. But, yeah, guys, so once again, C- for Raw tonight. What grade would you give Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to always click my like and subscribe more content to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBronny3. And Becky Lynch, you will always be the man. But, again, hopefully the McMahons did not kill your persona. And it's probably going to be this whole thing like, Becky probably thought that, Triple H and Stephanie were behind us the whole time. Who the heck knows? I don't know. But, again, the McMahons getting involved. Again, we're making the show better again. It's just not working. That's stupid. Let's go back to having a general manager again. A general manager at least that we can tolerate, though. Who the hell knows? Again, I keep saying this with AEW really breathing down WWE's necks for sure, as the Lex Man would say. WWE really has to capitalize at WrestleMania 35. If not, they're going to be in big trouble after WrestleMania 35 for sure. We'll see what happens, though, guys. Thanks again for joining me live. And thank you for the subscription. TikTok Pineapple as well. And Mark does not regret what he says. Hey, I don't blame you, my friend. Of course, she's getting the right heat on you guys. But, of course, I know a lot of people are definitely tired of Charlotte getting these opportunities, which is for sure. They could have had just Becky and Ronda. But like I said, if you make it an elimination match, have Charlotte the first one eliminated, and then we move on to just Ronda and Becky. So, yeah, cool with me, guys. So, yeah, I'm checking out, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Till then, guys, have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.